So today is going to be a tale of two somethings. I've really been enjoying the Mavic, as you will no doubt have noticed, and we've been doing all sorts with it. This is a guide on one of the intelligent flight modes. However, at the end of it, there was a bit of a tale of woe. More about that later. Now, intelligent flight modes are something relatively new. If you haven't used them, they're great, and we're going to show you how. I say we, there's only one. I will show you how I've been getting on with the points of interest flight mode. Now, when the Mavic is taken off, you'll get all of the usual gubbins that you get. One of them will be intelligent flight modes. Hit this button and it takes you right there. On the second page there's one called points of interest, which is for if you have a point that you find interesting. It might be yourself, it could be a church, it could be anything you fancy. The idea of this is that the Mavic then, or a Phantom 4, will take control and start circling around said object of interest. In order to get this to work, you should read the instructions. I don't read the instructions. I know you don't read the instructions. That's why you're watching this video. Hit the points of interest button. We come up with a dialog box. Quite simply, it says, take your drone over the point of interest. I didn't do this for, well, a number of goes and I couldn't figure out what was going on. The Mavic itself needs to be, if this is the point of interest, we need to go right over the top of it. If you're not sure how to do that, because perspective and all sorts of other things, point the drone camera, the gimbal, all the way down. It will look straight down and then you can line up the point of interest on your crosshairs. Sounds dead easy. Took me a few goes to work it all out. Anyway, once you've done that, hit apply. You'll be greeted with another dialog box. Now, if our point of interest is here, I'm here, and the drone is set off from in front of me, it's flown straight forward, decided that that's its point of interest, it's quite simple. Then we can just fly backwards, and that will set the radius. For the purposes of this, that is how far it's going to spin and come back before it starts spinning or orbiting around the object. You're still with me? It's not rocket science. You're all with me. So, once that's done, we can go up and down at this stage. Go a bit further up than you think. We'll explain more later. Now, that's more or less it. You can hit apply and you'll see your drone, off it goes. It will start circling said route. You can still control the angle, the camera gimbal, the whole shebang. And you can change the speed. What you'll notice here is that the Mavic feeds back to you to tell you how many or how long it will take to do a single rotation. But it won't stop at a single one. It will keep going until you tell it to stop. So at this point you'd be forgiven, or at least I'm hoping you forgive me for thinking that the red button here was to stop recording. It doesn't. If you haven't set your Mavic to record, it's not recording. And you'll notice the record button is obscured. Hit the hide button. That will get rid of the dialog box, freeing up the proper record button. Hit record. Don't forget to hit record, otherwise it'll all be in vain. Hit record, then bring the dialog box back using the same button. The stop button, record secondary function, whatever, it's a stop button. Nothing to do with recording, that's just in my head. That stop button will stop the orbit pattern. Useful to know. I wasted a battery trying to figure that out. That's it. You could do things like this. You'll notice what I've done here is I've gone for a middle ground in terms of speed, and then the speed ramp in post, well, that's obviously a speed ramp in post. You may get warned, the faster you go, the more likely you are to get warnings of high wind velocity, etc. But it works pretty well. The ones I've done here for test are on a particularly cloudy day, so there's no nice light or anything really interesting. But you get the idea. It works really well. Now, you'll notice that, well, you may not notice. You won't notice. I haven't told you yet. But here comes my tale of woe. During the last piece of this I did, I think it was, well, it's one of the ones we've just run there. The point of interest that I chose was actually on a bit of an incline. That presented me with somewhat of a problem. However, It was fine. Of course it was fine. I knew it was going to be fine because I'm not stupid. Now don't be stupid, I've told you about this. We looked around, there were no trees. So we lifted the drone, well there were trees, we lifted the drone above the trees. No problem. We start on our final run on a massive radius. And as we go around, there was a section, maybe, I don't know, a few degrees, so maybe 5-10 seconds, of the route that was slightly obscured by the roof that there was a building in the way. The Mavic wasn't going to hit the building, I just couldn't see the Mavic at that point in time. Turns out, there was a big tree behind that, and this happened. Now, cue the comments box, line of sight, don't be stupid, all the rest of it. My bad. I smashed the drone up pretty good. It lost a leg, and the gimbal is broken. Really much more to say about it than that. For your own amusement and not for mine, here it is again. And that's it, you're not getting it again. So that was that. The drone was wrecked, and I didn't buy DJI Refresh, which I now know about. And, well, I'm not going to read it all out to you. You can check it out on their website. If you're thinking of buying a drone, whether it's a Mavic, Phantom, or Inspire, have a look at that. And don't be stupid. A reminder to you, I'm trying to be really careful, and I got complacent, and that's what happened. Fortunately, it wasn't a person, wasn't anything moving, it was a tree, but it will no doubt have alarmed the person who lived there. We did manage to get it fixed. Some great guys helped us out with that. Fortunately, we found a great little place called DroneWorks. We're going to see what they can do for us. Obviously, I am acutely aware at this stage as well that the Mavic, well, most people, or many people, still haven't had their pre-orders, so getting this thing fixed in any reasonable time may be quite difficult. However, we've come here to DroneWorks to see, and here's Ed. Hi Ed, how you doing?
Hi mate. The top cover off, the centre cover off, just so we can access the arm, get that replaced, and then take a look at the bit of damage to the gimbal.
Cool. Well, I'm going to leave that one with you then, and in the meantime I'm going to need something else to fly, so you've got another one for me, I see. Brilliant. Right. Okay. Well, there we go. That's a replacement drone. And incidentally, if you are in the market for them, DroneWorks have actually got some in stock. I know many of you have been commenting on the videos of late to say you're still waiting for your pre-orders from DJI and or Jessup's. Give these guys a call. We'll put some details on the screen for them. Right. I've got that, Ed. Thanks very much. See you later.
Cheers. Take care.
All's well that ends well.